let's get going, guys. We prospect. We did everything. We got a referral. Everybody, we're almost there. So now we have a good lead that they mentioned that they want to list the property. They mentioned that they want to call and list the property. Now, I'm sure that most of you, or maybe all of you, had a situation that they went start something and with the seller, but they were so excited about getting the seller to sign the seller that they didn't do the steps that needs to be done. The first step that needs to be done, okay, is finding the motivation, okay? That's the first step that needs to be done. And the only way to find the seller's motivation is by asking them lots of questions. And the way to do it is just asking, what makes you want to sell the property? Where are you moving from here? And so on and so on. So you have to, in order to get and be able to get the listing, we need to motivate, to find the seller's motivation. Now, why also it's so important to find the seller's motivation? Because every time we're going to deal with the objections, every time we're dealing with the objections, we're going to go and deal and bring the motivation. For example, let's say they say, we want to list it for $790,000. Now, you know that the fair market value is 750. So you want to bring the seller to a certain point. Now, it could be that when you take the listing, you take it for 790, but you have to establish that if within a certain time frame, you're not going to get offer, or you don't get any activities, you will be going after a price reduction. And the way to establish that is that, let's say they tell you that they need to move to a different city because of work. So you go after and you're saying, Jennifer and Mark, you understand that if we put it for 790, we might not get offers. What's the time frame? You need to be there by the end of December? Yes. So if you need it by the end of December, it means that we need at least 45 days to be in escrow, which means that we need today's market, about 30 days to sell the property. So right now we need to put it in a price that we are going to get offers. So this is kind of a thing that you are checking with sales motivation, and you're dealing with these issues. Okay. So the more information, okay, the more information you get in advance on the listing, the more you can realize that the prospect is a real candidate to list. You don't want to list the property when the seller is not motivated to sell, okay? Especially when you're listing the listing for higher price. Don't do it, okay? You gotta go, and you always have to go and say the motivation. Okay. Oh, that's before. Fine. So, what do we do? My suggestion. So you prospect somebody, you don't know them. It's not somebody that you know on a daily basis. You get that, and then what you do, you prepare your listing package. Now, it's so important to prepare a listing package which is a non-ego listing package. Why is that? I see a lot of listing packages that we see the agents. It's all about the agents. I'm the greatest, I'm the best, I'm this, my picture is all over the place. Wrong, guys, wrong, because the seller is not interested about you, okay? Everything that you do, make it a non-ego. I'm not saying not show that you've done stuff, but this is not about you. It's about them. The more you focus about them, the better chances you have to get the listing. Very good, Jeff. Seller doesn't care about the agents. They only care about themselves. Period. That's it. So it's so important to send a non-ego pre-listing package. Now, I see a lot of agents. I can't even tell you, most of the agents, okay, including our own agents, okay, that sending going for the listing presentation with the package for the first time. And I'm saying, why do you do that? Why don't you just email or end deliver or live in over there the day before the listing package, okay? Leave it before, email it here, send it priority mail, which gets there for $7, you get it all over town, okay? All over the county, not all over town. In the next day. So you put the package together, you put a beautiful package together, you don't do too much, just don't do too much. Most people cannot read this, unless they are analytical and they're going to read every comma, okay? So you send them your presentation, and in the presentation, you send, I'll get to that what you send. But the reason we send the presentation is that we will be dealing with the objections in advance. And I'll tell you in a second, what does it mean that, what does it mean to deal with the objections in advance? So what's in that package, okay? What are we going to put in that package? A CMA with the actual price, okay? What is the price that you list the home? Now, if in the conversations that you had with this seller, they tell you we want to put it in 560, and you see that the property is at 520, don't put 520, put a spread, 520 to 560. Don't argue with them right now about if it's supposed to be 560 or 520. Your job is to make sure that you're getting the appointment. Your job is to make sure that they see you and they're ready to list with you. Okay, so don't argue with them on that. Okay, another thing is a net sheet with all costs including commission. Don't be afraid to put your commission over there if it's a 6%. We'll deal with that later. Okay, now if you do 520 and 560, what I suggest you to do is to send them 3 net sheets, 520, 540, and 560. Okay, so they can see everything. Another thing is all the disclosures. You want to have all the disclosures right away, and complete the contract. Complete the listing agreement. Have the listing agreement. Don't be shy to do it, guys. It's so important that you take leadership on the situation. Don't be shy to put it over there. Don't be shy. Leave the number there because it's between 520 to 560. You can put even 520-560 if you want. Okay? Put your 6% commission. We'll deal with it later. Okay? So, CMA, your CMA. I don't want to go too much about it, but your CMA must be over there. I don't want to see, I mean, I see agents that sending the CMA, like the CMA is the most important thing. It's not. Send the short version of the house that the property that you are comparing to, and send the list, and that's it, and the map. No more, guys, no more. And you don't need to show 15 properties. The best is if you have a lot of sold, put all the solds. However, if you see that there is a trend from the sold to the listed one, you see that the trend is going down or you're going up, show the ones in escrow, shows the one on the market. For example, if you want to emphasize on properties are on the market for a longer period of time, show the active one. So you can show, when you can discuss this with the seller, says, Mr. Seller or Mrs. Seller, I understand what you're saying, but if you can see this is on the market for quite some time. And this price range, and this is almost identical to your property, and this price range, it is at 30 days, 40 days on the market, and so on and so on. So you want to show the active ones, not to establish the price, but more to establish a trend. Okay? Or it's an accessory to establish the trend. Because at the end of the day, what established a price is the market. What does it mean, the market? The market means that what people are willing to buy a property for. Okay? It's not what a seller is willing to sell the property for, it's what the buyer is willing to pay for the particular property. Everything so far understood? Good. Guys, ask questions. Ahmad, very good. Ask the question. Okay? Yeah, Ahmad is asking. No, Ahmad wrote something. Well, you want to ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Eric here wants to ask a question. Yes.
How long should it be when you take a listing to go for a price reduction?
You have to establish that. If you know that the price is not correct, establish that in when you're ready to take the listing, that at least 30 days you're going for, the maximum is 30 days, you're going for a price reduction. And why is 30 days? When you show that the market trend is most properties are selling within 30 days, I'm talking to you, I need to talk to everybody here. I'm not used to these type of questions right now, okay? When you show the market trend, you want to be at least 30 days. So if you show that the market trend is 30 days, if within 30 days we don't get any activity, you want to go ahead and do the price reduction. Now, another thing is that many of you heard me saying is that if you put a property on the market in a certain price range and you don't get any activity, okay, you maybe even get one phone call here, one phone call there. You don't get any activity. If you don't get any activity, you are at least 10% overpriced. At least 10% overpriced. However, if you get activity, open house, people come to the open house, people calling you, they want to show the property, you see on the Supra that people are coming in and out, and you don't get offers, that means that you are 5%, around 5% overpriced. Okay? Yes, sir. You're interrupting me.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's, when on the Super Key,
yes,
and you're going for a price reduction,
yes,
there's access to what the realtors have to show how many activities actually show when they show the property on the Supra and go back to the sellers and provide them that activity on black and white that you're showing.
What information?
Yes.
We're not talking about this today.
Oh,
this is completely, this is how we get the listing. You're talking about different subject. There is, what do we do with the seller to reduce the price? There is a feature in the Century 21 that they get a weekly one. There is reverse prospecting. There is a lot of things. Okay, Jeff, you finish interrupting me?
I'll go
Okay,
back
yes, go. Bye. It is important to set the expectation with the seller up front. Exactly. You can start at your price, but exactly as Jeff mentioned that, guys. Okay? Listen with the pro. Okay? You have to set the expectations. Okay? But don't argue on the price too much. You want to get the listing. Some people will tell you, if you see that you're taking overpriced, don't take it. I disagree. Because a lot of people needs to be cooked. Can you please repeat Eric's question? We can barely hear him. Never mind. Okay? How about put it lower and get multiple offer? Okay, if you are lucky enough to have a seller that cooperate with you, definitely, I suggest to put a lower price and start a bidding war. There is something I want you to always use, this term what I'm about to tell you, I want you to use it. You rather have the market chase you instead of you chasing the market. Always remember that, okay? And you can repeat that, and when you saying to the seller, are you interested to chase the market? Because, okay, we can go and start chasing the market. The market is going to be always faster than us. However, let the market chase you. Let's make sure that we're getting multiple offers, and then we can start playing with the price. Okay? It's kind of a little bit a different mindset here. Some seller will not go with you on that. Okay? Some seller will look at Zillow and they see that the price is $50,000 more and says, I'm not doing this. Okay? And again, I've seen agents that lost the listing because they were arguing about the price. Don't argue about the price. Go with the seller. Seed the seeds that you might need to go for a price reduction later if nothing is going on. Okay? Now, it's not 100% bulletproof because you have many people. Let's see if that agent is here. No, he's not here. We have a situation with a seller that is like a cement. He doesn't see anything. The market specifically tells him that the property is worth $190,000 and he's somewhere around the 240. The market tells him all the offers. You're getting all the offers going to 190. We counter all of them. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. This is the market, and he wants to fire us because we're not getting his price. Okay, so let's go back. So now this is the trick. This is something that what I'm about to say, 95% of the agents don't do, and because they are afraid, because we are all afraid of confrontations. We're all afraid to the rejection. We can't handle that rejection. And I'm saying call back and confirm because you send it. Now, this is all about dealing with objections. And with dealing with objections, by the way, off the subject, all of you received the text messages about us going to Las Vegas on the 14th and the 15th of November. There are 2 days class about dealing with objections. So for those of you who didn't sign up, I think we have maybe 4 seats left over there that we reserved for us. Talk to Aaron. This is the key for everything, dealing with objections. The key for everything in our business and the key for everything even in our life. Everything that we do, we know we have to deal with the objection. Don't be afraid of the objections. Don't be afraid. So most people don't do that. So why? If you remember, we send in the package in advance and then we call a day later. So ring, ring, Mrs. Jones, good afternoon. This is your wonderful agent from Century 21. I sent you the package. Did you have a chance to read it? Yes, no, whatever. Let's assume that you say yes. So if you say yes, do you have any questions? Okay. Yes, I do have a question. Why are you asking for 6% that everybody else is asking for 5%? So what is the correct answer? Anybody can quickly answer me over here. What is the correct answer? Should I start talking to her right now on the phone? Everybody besides Jeff? Jeff, that's a great question. Beautiful. Excellent, Jeff. Daphna, we will talk about it when I see you. Excellent. Excellent. Now, who else wants to write? I saw another person was starting writing. Okay. So, Jeff, that's a great question. That will be one of the first things I address when I arrive tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So, exactly what Jeff said. Okay. Now you know that they have one objection, okay, which is the 6% commission, okay? So you say it's wonderful, it's a great question, and as you know, everything in the state of California is negotiable, but we will talk about it tomorrow at 5. So you say tomorrow at 5 to reinstate your meeting tomorrow at 5, okay? Now, you know already, let's say another question. Let's say that you answer that, and then you say, do you have any other questions? Yes, I don't understand why you put the house in put the listing for 550. Okay, beautiful. That's a great question also. I'm welcoming your question because we can discuss it, and I'll show you how did I get to 550, and I'm welcoming your opinion about that. And this is what we're going to talk tomorrow again at 5 when our meeting. Okay? Now, what is the reason that we did that? What is the reason? Anybody can tell me why did I do it? Why did I do it? Now you know what the objections. Perfect. Perfect. Now we know exactly, so I don't need to deal with anything else. I'm focusing, I'm doing I'm prepared. Excellent, Patty. I'm prepared. I can go now and go to my manager, go to my co-agent. I said, let's do some role play about dealing with these objections. Okay? Let me do some role play. Okay? And you're ready. But you know, you don't have to deal with 50 things. You know exactly what you need to deal with. Period. Okay? So is that a good idea to send it in advance and call before? Yes or no, guys? Yes or no? This also cuts the presentation down to only the objections. Excellent. Excellent, Jeff. Okay? You right away goes, okay, this is what it is. Okay? Are you ready to sign? Oh no, yes, let's deal with the commission, and we deal with the commission. Okay, let's deal with that. So, and there's one of the things that you can start with is that in the listing presentation is that Mrs. Jones, after addressing the commission and the price to list, are you ready to sign the contract with me? Very simple. Are you ready to sign the contract with me? Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid to ask these questions, guys. You are sales people. You need to sell, okay? You need to close. And a good agent is a good agent that get the listing, get the business, and close to get it, okay? After that, it's easy. Doing the business, it's easy. The most difficult one is to get the business. Doing the business is easy. Show leadership. Excellent. Excellent. So far, so good. Everything, we are good on that. Before we get to the actual forms. Super easy. Just, yeah, Jeff, thank you. Okay. Question about that before we go to the actual documents. You know, things that we do on this. No questions? Excellent. Okay. Here's the listing agreement. Guys, the mighty RLA, our beautiful listing agreement. I can wish here and wish everybody here to sign lots of it. Lots of residential listing agreement. Okay? Now, we need to remember a few things. I mean, you're going to have a situation that most of the document is pre-typed. However, there are certain things that are going to be written with handwriting on the document. So, for example, we're going to have a price. So, in the price, you have to write it. You make sure that the seller initial next to it. Initial next to everything that they put, which is not pre-printed. Okay? Another thing is that you have to remember, there is a beginning and end. Okay? I can't even tell you how many listings agreement I see that the beginning and end is the same date. Okay? Or they are dating last year, or things like that. Now, the seller, when they have in their mind already, they don't check this. But if push comes to shove one day, everybody start looking in this listing agreement, and it's so important that you don't screw this, okay? That you make it properly, because this is a leeway for the seller to get out of this. I want to go faster on this, okay? The dollar amount, okay, over here, the listing terms. If you have anything that you want to change in the original amount, for example, you agree with the seller that in the event that you holding both sides, you're going to take only 4% commission, you're going to reduce your commission, or 5% commission, you write it here. Never, ever don't write listing broker. Always write listing agent, okay? Because if in the event we have somebody else in the office, that's called listing broker, okay? Write listing agent, okay? Don't write broker, write agent, okay? Or write your name. Good. Another thing is the 6% commission. I see a lot of agents, because they have in their mind how much they're going to get, the 2.5%, the 3%. They write here 3%. No. The way it works is that you, Mr. Broker or Mrs. Broker, getting the whole commission, and you giving to the corporate broker their own commission. So the commission is 6%. You have to remember here. This is what you do. Don't screw it up. Okay? I see this too many times. And here's the place that you write down for what the other side. Now, in certain things, for example, 6 and 2.5, you're taking a short sale listing, guys. You took a short sale listing. You took a probate listing, okay? It's okay not to split 50-50 with the other side. It's okay because you do extra job. When you do extra job, it's okay to get a little bit more. So you're gonna get 3.5, and the other side will take true enough. Now, another thing for the other side, we used to say that the buyer's agent is the selling agent. So Carl removed this. There is no more selling agent. There is only a buyer's agent. Okay, Jeff, for now, hasn't done too much to help us. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now let's talk about something else. Let's talk about, why am I having the pictures here? Okay, I missed something here. Okay, pictures. Guys, I don't want to see these pictures. Ever. Okay? These pictures. Dark. I don't want to see them. Okay? This is example of two properties, one next to each other. This one, it's all with iPhone. Okay? They are all with the iPhone, but light pictures and dark pictures. Don't put dark picture. Now, a lot of people put dark pictures because they have, they're standing in front of the light. So the camera automatically adjusted itself. So make sure that you don't have that problem. How long I have? 3 minutes. Okay, now this one, for example, they put in the market together. This one sold for less than a week. And this one sold for, was on the market. 120 days, only because of the pictures. Now, why we put in good pictures? Why we put in good pictures? Why we doing a good presentation on the MLS? Not only because we want to get the buyers. You know, pictures is good. It's thousand times bigger than words. Okay, you're doing a 3D. You're putting professional pictures. You can get professional pictures between $100 to $200, guys. People trust you with their life. Do and spend the money, because not only for that, because for the next listing, because the next listing is going to look and see what kind of a listing do you have. Protection clause, guys. Protection clause. What is the protection clause? So in the listing agreement, there is a place here that in section 2, within X amount of days after the end. What does it mean? If you cancel the listing, okay, or the listing expires, okay, there is a certain amount of days after that, is that if an offer comes in from people that you show the property, okay, you're still going to get the listing. You're still going to get the commission. So if, for example, you show the property and there was offers and so on and the listing expired, the seller didn't want to move, okay, happens every day. You send, when the property expires, you send a list to the seller and says all these people are part of the people that were interested, wanted to put an offer, did put an offer, and so on and so on. If the seller will sell this property to somebody that was on that list within that time period, 90, I like 180, okay? But within that time period, that belongs to you. That commission belongs to you. We have an agent. Let's see if he's here. No. We have an agent in our company that got a $3 million listing. However, the previous agent has the protection clause, and we were able to convince the seller to reduce the price, and the buyer was somebody who the previous agent put the name. So within that time period, our agent was stripped from a $3 million commission. Yes. Let's see. It's better to leave buyer agent % open. Okay. Sean, agree. You have to service your seller. They will be looking for the photos, and that you write an MLS, etc. If it's relisted, you need to send the list to the new agent. Yeah, you can send it. Yes, Tony, it's a good example. You can send it to the new one, but you monitor that. Yeah, you can send it. Yes, definitely. I don't like to leave it open. Sometimes we do it, we just forget it. If the only thing is that I'm talking about the buyer side commission. The reason we don't do it is because we have to have full disclosures to our seller. And if everything is nice in the beginning, it's lovey-dovey, but after that, we have problems. I wanted to talk about pocket listings, but I don't have time. The only thing I want to wrap up is that, remember, controlling your listing is controlling your destiny. Very simple, okay? You have more listings, you control your destiny. You don't want to be a buyer's agent all your life. Patty, how do agents find out that the property has been sold to a client that showed the property? They're monitoring that on the MLS, definitely. But Tony's idea is a very good idea. By the way, Tony sits on many arbitration panels, so he knows all that stuff. The reason it's a good idea to send, the moment you see something on the market, you send it. Now, there are situations that the sellers will try to deceive you and to defraud you, basically, because somebody is going to knock on the door after that or whatever. They're going to try to close the deal besides that. If you see a situation that something closed and the buyer that closed without being on MLS is the buyer closed without you and you being stripped from your commission, come to us, please come to us, because our attorney is taking care of this, okay? Any questions, guys? Okay. Wonderful. Have a wonderful day. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.